Welcome to Sandlot Sports. I am Adam Capison. I'm here with Dorian Cody
So,
and BJ Thomas.
Ooh, been riding that Arkansas NC State wins. I'm feeling good about it. Feeling good about things.
So before we get to football, I actually have a baseball question for you guys. Is it possible and allowable for a manager of a team with a losing record to win Manager of the Year?
Wouldn't that'd be like giving Doctor of the Year to Kevorkian, wouldn't it?
Well, and now hear me out. So AJ Hinch, I don't know if you guys are familiar. He was the manager of the Astros when they cheated their way to the title. He was out of the baseball for a year. Got a job for the Detroit Tigers because they needed somebody. That team was a disaster. It was just a horrible dumpster fire, worse than the Lions. So the past 3 or 4, even 5 years, I mean, their winning percentage has been in the 300s, just god awful. They didn't really make any roster moves over the summer. Their farm system has been crap. This year, they're basically a 500 team. The only change was AJ Hinch.
So, I mean, maybe he brought his system of pitch reading to that club.
Maybe. I mean, but do you think they'd be better? So,
Well, I mean, now he knows better. He has to slowly implement it so as to not set off any warning signs.
so, but yeah, I thought it was interesting. I mean, they were projected to lose. I think it was like 115 games this year. They've already won 75 right now. They're 75 and 81, and there's 6 games left to go. So and that's what I'm asking, because he's done an amazing job with that team, even though they're just an average team. But they were supposed to be just trash. I mean, worse trash than the Jacksonville Jaguars, but whatever. So I do have.
He can say that because at least the Lions play hard.
This is true. So we'll get.
The Jags play hard last game too. Let's give them some credit.
I want to get to you about the Jacksonville game, but we'll start with college first. So, but go ahead, BJ. You were going to say something?
I was just going to talk shit. We can start with the college.
Let's start with college.
That's all I was gonna do.
When we were doing our college preview, BJ, you used a word to describe Iowa State. What was that word again?
I think most likely, knowing me, it was probably overrated.
I thought it was fraudulent.
Fraudulent, yeah, that's a good word too. I probably did that.
So, I mean, this past weekend has shown that that's probably true. But there's also a lot of teams that could fall in that category. Clemson could fall in that category a lot.
They're shocking. Yeah, they are shocking. I don't even know what to say about them.
Just the absolute total cliff drop that they had. And it wasn't like they were slowly declining like a lot of teams do. No, they just jumped off the cliff.
I'm telling you, this is what happens when you hear that the coach of the school you're committed to is against you getting paid, and all the other schools are about to start paying people.
But they didn't have any transfers. They didn't have that many transfers. That's the thing.
I'm telling you, if I know my coach doesn't have my best interest at heart, why am I going to stick my head in front of somebody?
But they kind of all do. I mean, do you really think that Minka Fitzpatrick, thought that Nick Saban had the best interest at heart when he was out at Alabama? Do you really think Bryce Young thinks that? Do you really think that C.J. Stroud thinks that for Ohio State?
His best football interest at heart, yes.
Okay.
So I can say that, yes. I don't know about anything else.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I watched that Manning cast for the Eagles-Cowboys game, and at one point, the Alabama quarterback threw to the Alabama receiver, and it was intercepted by an Alabama corner. So I was like, well, and Nick Saban was the next guest. I was like, well, that was well timed. Jeez, that guy, the recruiting he does just by coming on TV and having those guys show up every Sunday and play football. It's almost doing it by himself now. All he's got to do is not screw it up.
And that's the thing, I know Lane Kiffin went on. I was like, well, Alabama's cherry picking recruits because they can.
Because they can make them stop.
Yeah,
make them stop. Like, I'm a Florida Gator fan. I would love nothing more than Alabama to suffer misery. I'm serious. I would love it.
But as long as Nick is there, they're not going to.
Yeah. No, but I mean, stop them. It's like people celebrating when they're winning. Stop them. Yeah. You have the opportunity to do it. You can stop them from getting in the end zone. If you don't like it, the only thing is to do is stop them from getting in the end zone or shut up.
Yeah.
Ah, jeez.
I mean, and seriously, like if Nick Saban shows up at your door and says, "Hey, Dorian, I want to recruit your son to go to Alabama,
I'm
but
listening.
I know you're a lifelong Miami fan, but I really think he can go to Alabama." What are you saying?
How much? Okay. No, but yeah, I mean, if Nick Saban's coming to my door, like the University of Miami emblem that's in my house is going out the window. Straight up. I mean, you'll be a fool not to be able to listen to Nick Saban. I mean, Nick Saban literally all he has to do is just show up to your house and say, "Do you want to go to the NFL? Come with me."
Yeah.
Literally, that's all he has to
That's it.
say. That's it.
Jeez.
I know I pissed some other Hurricane fans off, but it is what it is. So
They're
No,
garbage.
dude, it's
The
true,
whole
though.
organization is garbage. They're organizational garbage. It's not the fans' fault. Like, what are they going to do? But you have to realize it to fix it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Organizational garbage.
You're right.
And it's structural. They just do not have the facilities to compete.
No.
They don't have
Look,
their hiring practices suck.
if the guy who my favorite university is trying to hire his coordinators comes to my house and tries to get my kid, I'm sending him with the guy who hires the coordinators, not the one who's trying to hire the coordinators. Like every year, that staff is cherry picked. If Nick Saban comes to my house, I'm going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
I mean-
everybody wants to be Alabama. Everybody wants to be Alabama.
You're right.
Now, when the book comes out and the untold millions of dollars these players have been getting since 2000, whatever, that'd be great to get read about. Allegedly.
Interesting.
Allegedly.
But just to be fair, I'm waiting for that same book on Krzyzewski too. So
Yeah.
Well, and my thing about Alabama is that I've yet to see them play a true road non-conference game in the past.
it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, Adam. Like the only thing that matters for them is playoffs. And once they get there, they're going to steamroll the first team, and then it might be a good game in the national championship. That's about it. If Alabama loses, it's because something Alabama did.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. I know the past couple of times that they've lost in the semifinal round, it's because Nick didn't adjust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. It's gonna be Alabama's fault for losing. It will not be. They're awesome to watch.
Well, and that's the thing. They can out talent 10 schools on their schedule.
Yeah, it makes it real easy to scheme when you got that going for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it makes it really easy to have a great running back when your offensive line is pancaking all 5 defensive linemen.
Exactly. And then, on the outside, you got speedsters. You got first round receivers just catching everything, literally everything that comes their radius.
Derrick Henry played for Alabama. Like, just think about that.
Dude.
He was a defensive line. He just murdered a Pro Bowl linebacker yesterday or Saturday.
That was nasty.
He murdered Darius Leonard.
That was nasty.
Now, Darius Leonard was coming off a block, but that's a Pro Bowl linebacker. He just discarded. He discarded and you put him in the dumpster. Get out of here.
Right.
Man.
Right.
But those are the kind of people they attract.
Right.
The biggest, best athletes. And until you change that, until somebody says, we got to beat Alabama, and they start spreading this out, something, it's not going to happen.
And they attract it year after year after year.
Mhm.
And we all kind of thought that Clemson was in that, they got to get the 5-star defensive lineman, they're going to get the 5-star recruits. And that's what makes this year so shocking, is that it just dropped, and it dropped quick. I was joking with BJ on the group chat, is after we all made our pick about NC State beating Clemson this past weekend, only one member of the media did it, and that was Desmond Howard.
Wow.
They'll lose something for that. There'll be some kind of repercussion if they start actually picking the way they think. Watch.
But it was bad.
Yeah. Also, too, with DJ Ukulele.
Yeah,
or
sure.
DJ
We'll go
U,
with
I'll
that.
call him. Yeah.
Sure, he loves that.
He doesn't look comfortable in that offense, man. I'm sorry.
I called that when they played Georgia. Now we talked about, is that Georgia's defense? Is that him? But he did not look comfortable, and has not looked comfortable since.
At all. And they don't call enough run plays for him. I mean, like, what was he like? I think he was 6'4.5", 250. It's like, he's not a pocket guy. Even in high school, like he did, they called a lot of schemes that fit his skill set. And his skill set, I think that he'll be more successful out of the pocket, throwing on the run, because in the pocket, like and again, he's a talented guy, but he doesn't. Pocket is not not his thing.
And that's the thing. Like even when Trevor Lawrence was there, they would still run quarterback runs with him, like
Mhm.
every so often, just enough to keep the defense honest.
Whoa. Calm down. Right? That you're bringing up sensitive subjects here. I'm talking about Trevor Lawrence and the team that tanked to acquire a quarterback who
Oh, we'll get to that. Don't worry.
tends
Don't
to
worry.
throw interceptions at a similar rate as
I-
Jamarcus Russell.
I don't shoot my load too early. We'll get to that later. Don't worry.
Yeah, we get to that early because I got.
Oh,
Yeah.
your load. I got loads.
Plural.
Plural. Water fountain. Let's go. Oh,
But
No,
but DJ, for what I've seen, DJ is a better runner than Trevor Lawrence. Like this guy can run.
well, I was
From
not
the plays
saying.
I've seen, but they're not calling plays for him to run. That's what's kind of confusing. It's like he could I won't say easily, but he could get you 7 yards. I mean, he's a pretty big kid, but they're not calling enough run plays for him.
And that's you don't need to run it all the time, but you need to do it to keep the defense honest. I mean that's been Michigan's thing this past year is up until the second half of the Rutgers game, they would throw just enough to keep the defense honest. And about maybe once a quarter, once a half, they would throw it deep just to back their safeties up, just to back the linebackers up, just another couple steps so that the running backs had room. And as a play caller, you have to know that you're not just calling for this play, you're calling for later on down the game to make sure just set different things up. And the good play callers get that. Those that just kind of play Madden, I'm just going to call one play every time, they just don't, and it's sad to watch.
I don't know. I'm okay with Clemson not being good.
Well, and I guess
Dabo Swinney lost me when he made that comment. Like it was really tone deaf. Like
Dabo Sweeney lost me several years ago when he said, "I'm a great Christian man," and he's over like grabbing kids by the face mask and dragging them around. Like, no, dude, no, you're a hypocrite. Shut up, go away.
Well, I mean, considering what else they grab, I figured the face mask would be the least you worry.
This is true.
Yeah,
but
Dorian, that went right over your head. I know it, dude.
But here's the question though. Okay, so the ACC is out of the playoffs because it's the Clemson and UNC, and both of them are just trash. So they're out. Who does that leave? That leaves the SEC, which obviously the winner of the SEC is getting to the playoffs. Leaves the Big Ten. And the Big Ten is solid this year. They may all beat each other up, but that's not the point. The Big 12, which is basically Oklahoma and nobody else, and the Pac-12, which is Oregon and no one else. So we're now a third of the way through the season. Who's making it? BJ, you can't say 4 SEC teams. That's not allowed.
Watch it. It's gonna fucking happen. It's gonna happen. There's gonna be like 3 SEC teams, and your boy's gonna be real unhappy with his comments earlier in the season.
Okay, well, assuming that doesn't happen, answer the damn question.
I just told you it's going to happen. You said it can't happen, but if all the other teams are garbage, and they can somehow manage two loss SEC teams, the SEC loser, the championship, and the SEC champion, hey.
You're basically saying that Arkansas is going to beat everybody but Alabama on their schedule, and then get into the playoff, being second in their division.
Arkansas is my world beater this year.
On top of that, you're then implying that Florida runs the table, beats Georgia, and then beats Alabama in the SEC title game.
Florida is going to beat Georgia.
Okay.
September 28th.
I will put that down, and I think we got some wings coming on that one.
Shit. Put it in the Bulldogs chat room. I don't care.
Okay.
Let them know it's coming.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna have both quarterbacks at that point.
So Dorian, I'll ask you because BJ's just sucking off the SEC. Who's making the playoffs?
I'm thinking outside I believe Bama's gonna make it. I think Oregon has a solid chance to make it. I don't see them losing any games for the rest of the year. And I think if they win out, I think that they'll make it. I want to ask this question: is Notre Dame for real?
No. No.
Even after they beat a solid Wisconsin team.
A solid Wisconsin team. You saw that on Saturday, and you've seen them play the rest of the year, and you call that a solid Wisconsin team.
They were solid until they played Notre Dame.
No.
I just
Go ahead, BJ.
I'm dying right now. I got to get this out. What's the highest ranked ACC team right now?
I want to say 19 or 20, something like that.
NC State is 23.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Then who's second? The second highest ranked.
Cake
ACC
Forest, I
team.
think.
Cake Forest is ranked above the Clemson Tigers.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, that conference has imploded. The world is upside down.
You think any of them going to join the SEC?
Will they be allowed to after this season? I don't know. I mean, they might take Florida State just so we have two Vanderbilt.
They might take Florida State and trade Vanderbilt for them,
or keep both of them so there's one Vanderbilt on each side.
So Dorian, you talked about Wisconsin, okay? Since they beat the crap out of Michigan with their horrible quarterback last year, they won 49-11. The last 7 games against Power 5 conferences. Here's how many points they've scored. 7, 6, 7, 20, 42, 10, 13. That 42 was against Cake Forest, by the way.
They have scored 57 total points this year.
Yeah. So
57.
Now, I'm sure that will change this week when they play Michigan. I'm sure they'll score 57 in that one game. That's just kind of how it works. But yeah, they're not as good as we want to think they are.
Yeah. So that means that so are you picking Michigan to pretty much give them a good to beat them? Sounds like
no. I'm not. I'm picking Wisconsin to beat Michigan.
You're playing safe.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he's doing that to avoid you curse the Doradama situation where you call a team to win. He's trying to reverse that.
No, so here's the thing though. Okay, if y'all want to go down this route, I will. Michigan has not won at Camp Randall since I think 2001, and that's where the game is being played. Michigan has looked respectable this year. Wisconsin has not. I just talked about it, and they've looked god awful. The people in Vegas that build the big towers off suckers, they think Wisconsin's a 1-point favorite.
Really? I don't know. I think Michigan's going to pull it off, man. It's just maybe I'm seeing something different what you guys see with Michigan, but it seems as if they're like playing with a certain pop. They just seem like different. It's not.
I will say that
like
they won a couple games in a row. That helps.
Yeah. This year the team has looked different. They look energized. They look spunky.
Exactly.
They also look like total ass after the quarterback took a hit in the head last week.
Happens to a lot of teams, though.
Yeah, and I mean, because I watched that game, and if you watched it, they were up. I think it was they were up 17-3. Rutgers had just turned the ball over on a dumbass play and given them to take free 3 points at the end of the half. McNamara got the ball, got hit, got targeted, and was actually called on the field as targeting. Completed a pass, got him down to the end zone, and then at that point he was never accurate the rest of the game. So if he clears that up, maybe, but I don't know. And I also worry that, hey, look, your quarterback is hurt. Play your star freshman, get him some time. It's fucking Rutgers.
Yeah. True.
So I'm worried, but and Michigan, I'm not ready to get hurt again just yet.
Oh, come on, you have no heart. They've ripped it out so many times over there. You have like this cavernous void where your Michigan pride once stood.
Yeah.
So I mean, this has got to feel good. It has to feel good this year. They look competitive for
yes.
The first time in 10 years, 15 years.
Well, really, ever since Carr left, they have not really been competitive. In the Rich Rod years, it was like watching Chip Kelly and the Eagles. If they couldn't get a couple first downs, the defense was spent.
Yeah.
And especially
it doesn't work.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't work.
And later in the season, especially in the Big Ten, teams would just wear you down. And that's what. And then when he left, now he was improving, but they got rid of him, and rightfully so. Which, by the way, completely side note, my heart goes out to Rich Rod and his family, because I don't know if you saw that his son has lung collapse during a game. During the game, you were talking about coaches have their sons play quarterback. Rich Rod's son was playing quarterback and got hit and his lung collapsed. Now I think he's doing fine, but just my heart goes out to him.
Yeah.
But then they replaced Rich Rod with Brady Hoke, and they just got progressively worse. And that's been the problem, is even though Harbaugh came in and tried to fix everything, they had 6 years of just crap, and those pipelines are destroyed. It takes a while to build up, and also it takes a while to build back up your confidence.
Yeah, I thought so. Brady Hoke looks like that dude that's Chris Christie's cousin. That's what Brady Hoke looks like. I had to look him up real quick just to make sure. But if anybody's listening looks that up, tell me I'm wrong.
And honestly, I don't know how he still has a job, especially in the day and age of football this year.
He's Chris Christie's cousin. That's why.
That's probably why. Because he basically broke Shane Morris. I don't know if you guys watched the game, because obviously you wouldn't, because why would you watch a Michigan-Minnesota game? When they played Minnesota and Brady Hoke's last year, there was a hit on Shane Morris, knocked him down. He got up shaking. His brain was resetting. Wow. And because Hoke doesn't wear a headset, no one told him, hey, look, dude, he can't go back in the game. Put him back in the game like that. And
Wow.
As far as I know, he's okay, but it could have really fucked him up.
Oh, don't really know if he's okay till later in life, I don't think.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, so how's the Pick'ems looking? Did we recover it all this week, or?
Yeah, well, let's pull up.
Yeah, let's look. I'm kind of curious.
So the Pick'ems this week, we are actually, all of us are 500 or above with college.
I wonder how that stacks up against the ESPN crew and whatnot.
Well, I'm glad you asked that. So now, granted, the ESPN crew does pick against the spread when they do their picks, but a little different. I have it here. Joey Galloway, product of The Ohio State University, this year is 1-6-1.
Jeez.
So makes your 6-6 look a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, strong. Very strong. Almost like we know stuff about football sometimes.
Yeah. Now here's the best part. So they do a Galloway and America pick. The fans have picked. They're 3-5.
That's funny.
So we'll do a pick'ems this week. I actually had some time, so I made my picks and just put them in white, so you can't see them. That way I'm not swayed by anybody. But we'll go to BJ's Cinderella team, Arkansas playing Georgia.
Yeah, I was just joking. They aren't going to run the table. Georgia should beat them. I will say I do not believe Georgia's going to cover.
You don't think they're going to cover the 18.5?
No, I don't think they're going to cover the 18.5.
I think they will, because it's in Athens.
You hate Arkansas, though.
I don't trust them.
It's not about trust. It's about faith. Haven't you learned that? We're Americans. We believe in possible shit.
I believe in Jeebus. Jeebus going to come down.
I was not going down that road. You chose that. You chose that for your life.
No. But there were questions about Georgia, because their best games are against Clemson, which they didn't score an offensive touchdown on, and against Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt, I think they just forgot the game started, so they were down 35-0 after the first quarter.
Arkansas is feisty, just like your Michigan team. Those feisty teams scare me, because if you're getting the same athletes and you're feisty, things can happen.
Yeah, we'll see. With it being in Athens, I think Georgia's going to cover. So it's a lot to cover, but I think they will.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like 41-20, so it'll be just enough. So Dorian, who you got?
I got Georgia, but I think it's going to be closer than 18.5.
Ooh, another no cover.
Yeah, I think it's going to be closer. Like you said before, from watching Arkansas, they do seem feisty. It's like they're like one of those teams where if we lose to Georgia, like people expect us to lose anyway. So they kind of like, so like they're playing on house money right now. But like if we lose, people expect us to lose anyway. So they have that confidence. We're gonna come in here, try to bust some ass, and we'll go from there.
And as BJ said, hope is a powerful drug. And they beat
Mhm.
Texas. They beat Texas A&M. So
Yep.
now we don't really know how good those teams actually are, but it helps.
We
Yeah.
do know one thing though. Arkansas is not as bad as we were originally thinking the season started. That's for
This
sure.
is true.
Right.
That's
That's for damn sure. So proud of my early upset pick. I just don't think Georgia's the one. I think they're gonna have a solid record, probably play in a decent bowl game somewhere, but yeah,
Yeah.
no, not this one, guys.
So the next one, going back to the Notre Dame conversation from earlier, is Cincinnati versus Notre Dame.
Mhm.
Cincinnati's favored by 2.5 in South Bend.
Why do you make us pick Notre Dame games? I can't pick Notre Dame. I don't ever want to pick Notre Dame. Oh man, I picked Georgetown against Notre Dame.
The other Catholic school.
I don't even know if they have a football program.
They do. It's like FCS or Division III or something stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm picking them.
So you picking Cincinnati?
Golly.
You got to pick the American school over Power 5 school?
I don't want to pick Notre Dame.
You do realize that if Cincinnati wins this game, they're probably going to make the playoffs.
Cincinnati right now. Thank you, Adam. That was what I needed to push me over the edge right there.
Yeah, because after this game, their American Conference starts, and yes, there are some tough teams in the American Conference. I mean, SMU just knocked off TCU. UCF's always tough, but Cincinnati can legitimately beat everybody in the American Conference. So if they beat Notre Dame, they're going to have a quality win on their schedule, and they're going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did that. You did that with a straight face. I'm so proud of you. Have you been taking acting classes while we're getting into the entertainment world ourselves?
Hey, I got to make money somehow.
I see you did good. You did good. You did very well. I'm impressed.
Oh yeah.
Dorian, who you got?
My pick. I'm picking Notre Dame. I don't see Cincinnati beating Notre Dame in South Bend.
You gotta sing the fight song for us when they win.
No. I do it because I know it makes BJ cringe.
So I actually picked Cincinnati because I don't trust Notre Dame. I really don't. I mean, they had that game against Wisconsin. The final score I think was like 41-13 or something crazy. First of all, the game was boring as hell. But it was tied going into the fourth quarter, and then Wisconsin decided they were going to be colorblind and throw 2 pick sixes and not tackle the guy on the kickoff return. So that's 21 points right there. So we'll go to the next one: Mississippi versus Alabama.
Why? Yes, Alabama's going to cover.
Okay, Alabama's
Yes.
going to cover.
Yeah, Alabama's going to cover.
Okay,
Alabama might double the cover.
Same.
Might be 29-point cover.
Okay. The last one will go out to the Big 12: Baylor and Oklahoma
Ugh.
State. Oklahoma State's a 3.5-point favorite.
You picked a good one there.
That's what I do.
Yeah, you did. You picked a good one there. Man, I'm gonna have to say Baylor.
Dorian.
For some reason, I got an inkling Baylor's going to win too. I'll pick Baylor.
See, I picked Oklahoma State. Just to me, Oklahoma State's just the better team. They have the better athletes. I know Baylor's playing with house money. They just came off that win against Iowa State.
Yep.
I see Oklahoma State pulling this one out.
Let me see that hope.
Yep. I also see that Oklahoma State is really the only team that will give Oklahoma any kind of credence with their scheduling. So, that's really the only hope the Big 12 has. So maybe a call that's not supposed to go their way seems to go their way. So that's weird. Calculations are off. Oh wait, I have another game on here. We'll pick the Syracuse Florida State game too.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. And you know who I'm picking? Cuse. Even though they're terrible, they can't be that terrible.
It's the toilet bowl.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm going with the Orange Men.
You are.
First, they can't get out of their own way. They're gonna find a way to fuck up.
Did we wash? Did we wash? Did we pick it all, Syracuse?
Well, so that's the thing. I actually didn't pick this game because I didn't know how the joke was going to work out with it.
Excellent. It worked out excellent.
But see, Florida State, they say that coaches, teams will play for their coach. Hey, this is our coach's last game, and we should play hard for him. I'm wondering if they're just going to say, fuck it, we want this guy fired.
That's what it feels like. Do we know the
That's what it
spread on
feels
this
like.
game?
I don't right offhand. I'll pull it up though.
Probably even.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, look, I think the edge goes to Syracuse.
And it's in Tallahassee.
Right.
Syracuse favor. That'd be great.
Oh, hold on. So according to Caesars, the spread of this game is Florida State 4.5.
Really? I don't see that.
Oh.
No. I don't
Garbage,
see that.
garbage juice.
I don't see that.
And I guess here's the question: if Florida State doesn't win today, I mean, do they win 2 games this season? In all seriousness,
Man, it's always fun to make fun of them, but this is kind of sad.
yeah, when it's pathetic.
It's real bad. Mm.
I mean, don't forget they do play Miami this year.
Oh, they ain't beat Miami.
Yeah, they beat Miami.
So let me pull up the schedule.
Both teams want their coaches fired.
Yeah. That's
So
for sure.
So Florida State plays Syracuse, North Carolina, UMass, Clemson, NC State, Miami, Boston College, Florida. Are there 2 wins in there?
No, maybe one in UMass, if that. But surprisingly, Boston College, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Boston College, they're
legit.
4-0? Yeah, they're solid, man.
No, Syracuse is 3-1. They haven't beat anybody. They lost to Rutgers. They beat Ohio, Albany, and Liberty. Jeez. Oh my gosh.
And they're
What if
still
that game turns out to be the game of the week?
That's an American Athletic Conference schedule right there.
and Florida State is still favored to beat them.
Oh man, what a weird world we live in.
That's gonna be an interesting game.
Syracuse gonna get kicked out of the ACC. They keep messing around. The only thing that's keeping them in there is basketball. They haven't been playing that well.
Hey, I'm still there.
Yeah, hanging on. I think that's one of the biggest things that messed that whole situation up was him talking about retiring and then hanging on for years after. He should have kept his mouth shut.
Yeah. If he leaves, McNamara's gonna take over, right? His coach?
Mike Hopkins.
Really?
Oh, they already have a coach in waiting.
Yeah, Mike Hopkins has been there for ever. Yep, but I hope Jerry Mack sticks around. I'd like him to take over eventually.
I liked him when he played.
Boy, he was magic.
Yeah.
He, wasn't the fastest, wasn't this, wasn't that, but he'll bang 3 threes in a row.
He's very scrappy.
Real quick. That's what they call unathletic white people.
He's got a good motor.
Yeah. Plays hard.
That's the J.J. effect.
McNamara was great, though.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, though, was Devendorf. I don't know if you're
going to say.
Eric
Devendorf has swag.
Yeah,
swag. I like. He has swag. He the type where he'll shoot a 3 and just
stare at you, like burn you with his eyes.
Yeah, I like Devendorf.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
How's our horrible NFL pickup going, Adam?
We'll get there. We got better.
You guys might have. I'm pretty sure I screwed up again.
Yeah, I know.
So we'll take a break and then we'll get to the NFL.
Oh, here we go.
Take a break real quick.